Hello. Just going to check in. I think I've put the wrong timing on.
Goal.
For the
Bristol City Swansea is 1-0.
Right, 3 of you watching. So with Hyde Bosun, you can see and hear me okay. I'm just going to tell the telegrammers I think I put the wrong timing on. So let me just sort that out. So you can see and hear everything okay, Bosun? No problem. Right, 3 of you watching. So with Hyde Bosun, you can see and hear me okay. Tell the telegrammers. Okay. Hi Stephen. So you can see and hear everything okay. Good stuff. So let me just get rid of a few of these. Bitcoin to 10 million apparently. So if that does happen, okay, then you won't be Hi Stephen. Seeing or hearing from me again. So you can see and hear everything okay. Good stuff. Long way to go yet though. Let me just get rid of but do prepare if it gets to 10 million. Bitcoin to 10 million I'm off ski. So if that does happen, right, this is what's happening at the moment. Then you won't. These are the matches which caught the eye. Seeing or hearing. Some of them it's already done and dusted. Long way to go yet though. Growth of Firth odds on favourites getting the equaliser. Do prepare. If only it was that simple. Now they've been red carded. Bristol City against the Swans. Well, a good starting gambit from the Swans. 7 shots off target, 6 corners, but no shots on. Bristol City have taken advantage of that with a late goal to make it 1-0, 73rd minute. That's just occurred. Now, we might see reaction from the Swans here, because they did have the better stats for the vast proportion of the match, but only 2 shots on off target second half. Genk, well, we'll be looking for them to score first, as the stats suggested, and they have done with relative ease. Alaves as well look absolutely dominant, don't they? 4 shots on, 4 shots off, 4 corners. Racing Santander and Tenerife a bit tighter. A lead for Tenerife, 2.55 to favourite, as you can see. It doesn't make any great appeal yet. Levski Sofia might survive the red card against Krumov Grad. They're one of those sides, 1 shot on, 6 off and 3 corners. They might just survive it. So I'm not going to be laying Levski Sofia just yet, unless Krumov Grad puts something up second half. And again, Servette looked like they deserved that equaliser, second in the league, conceded first against Lausanne Sport. Paris Saint-Germain as well, 2-2. Hope you got on that earlier on against Reims. Went from 0-1 to 2-1. Ajax performing well so far. This is pre-Europa Conference League for Ajax, who, if this does remain 1-0 late on, and their odds are short enough, they're certainly layable today. Echo in the background, okay. So let me know. That's probably down to me having the volume on in the video. So just let me know if that's cleared up, Bosun. Hi Sean, nice to see you. And S Gentic, nice to see you. And Henry Williams, nice to see you as well. Echo as well from Henry. I don't know how to cure these, Henry. I am sorry. I'm not a techie. But all I can do is fiddle around with this for a bit. Hopefully the sound won't echo, so let me know if it improves. I had to change some of the settings yesterday, so hopefully. I don't know what I'm doing, by the way. All good, thank you very much, Bosun. So it must have been just the video volume. It's a learning curve for me. That's better. Okay, good stuff, thank you for that. So it must have been that volume there. I can't hear this, you see, so I don't know if it's echoing or not. Thank you very much, Henry. Good stuff. So Greuther Fürth and Elversberg, well, they've just taken advantage of the red card. So that's job done with that match. We can untick that. Just looking out to see whether Swansea have a late bite in them. And indeed, Racing Santander, can they get that equaliser? It's a very tight match. 10th against 12th. 2 shots on 8 off 4 corners. These two, of course, vying for automatic promotion spaces to the Primera Liga. Ajax could be vulnerable. We'll keep an eye on that one. Odds on favourite Rijeka today. Odds on favourites performing well today. So I wonder if that will continue throughout the afternoon. Slavia Prague, all things being equal, should be job done for them as well a bit later on. So we're just collecting matches. It was a bit shy, really, the coupon today. A bit like last Sunday's. Not a very appealing coupon on paper. But as you know, with football trading, we just don't know what will occur. Tottenham have scored in the last 38 matches, I believe, in total. So that draw against Aston Villa, that 0-0, might be vulnerable at some point. Looks as if they've just had a goal disallowed as well. While I'm here, I'm just going to collect my odds on favourites. I've got as far as C. So we'll be working our way down to Dinamo Zagreb odds on and Rijeka odds on a bit later on. And then work our way down the Fortuna League. Slavia Prague, as you see, very strong. CSKA Budovica already scoring first. I'm not really looking at the lower tier Czech stuff. Next stop will probably be Denmark, Danish Super League, FC Copenhagen, pre-Manchester City. And there's that CSKA Budovica goal. Danish First Division, 1.95 favourite AEB Aalborg. And Second Division Esbjerg already 2-0 up. But a lack of liquidity there, I would say. English Championship, nothing much doing, but a good result for West Brom. The market couldn't pick a favourite there, 2.63, but emphatic win for West Brom against Huddersfield. Still in relegation trouble, I think, without checking. France Ligue 1, Marseille odds on favourites later on, with home advantage. PSG against Reims. This is a pre-Champions League, is it, for PSG? So drop points, another casualty. St. Pauli, job done at 2-0. Kaiserslautern 2-2. Might be a late Desmond in there. And indeed, well, the Greuther Fürth red card as odds on favourites have already been punished for that one. So we work our way down. Greek Super League. So it's been split into groups now, Championship and relegation groups. But it's still, the title is still up for grabs for AEK Athens, Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, PAOK Thessaloniki and Aris Thessaloniki. So this is a Thessalonia derby. So just be a bit wary with those. All title contenders. So well worth following the Greek Super League as it gets to the end of the season. Hungary, well, not that interested there. Got to look at liquid leagues, really. Israeli Liga Ha'al, Maccabi Tel Aviv and Maccabi Haifa, 2 strong favourites at about 6 o'clock. Venezia odds on, as they tend to be every week. Got no goals coming in. Oh, I don't know that because I haven't put Football 24 on my phone yet. So I've got to do that now. So keep an eye on all the goals coming in. 0-2 to the Spuds. How about that? Well, there we go. That caught me unawares. So I'll just configure Football 24 correctly. Just put the sound down a little bit. There we go. So now I can look to all the goals coming in. I didn't know Tottenham had scored 2 quick goals. But that's continuing their excellent run. And Burnley have scored first against West Ham. That might be a potential play. But West Ham have been in pretty poor form. But they have a good record, I think, without checking the research, against 11th and lower. The research is available for you at footballtradingprofits.club, which will be closing down soon. Just be footballtradingprofits.com by next month. It simply hasn't taken off. There's not enough interest in creating a community, and it's costing me far too much profit each month to sort that one. So we're going to nip that one in the bud, but you won't be losing any service at all. It can all be spread to other websites such as YouTube, as you can see now. So now we've got the goals coming in. You can hear that in the background. These are just the odds-on favourites. It's well worth collecting odds-on favourites. You can see with Sporting,
this market has been
Benfica
suspended.
a little later on. If the underdogs score first, that's our first port of call. 0-0 at half-time, another port of call, red cards, etc. So Flora Tallinn have made it 2-2. Well, Tallinna Kalev, I played that one a little earlier. Florina Tallinn coming from behind, 1.44 home favourites. Enough liquidity, but tough trusting Estonia with your money. But I got the profit there earlier on. It's now 2-2. So it might be a potential late play there. That's the 84th minute. 1.44 favourite at home, bought back to 2-2. Spanish Primera, I think we've done all the major Spanish leagues. As you can see, they don't do anything apart from siesta and playing football in Spain, it seems. Unbelievable, Jeff. Swedish Cup, Malmo against Norrköping. Malmo will be taking this seriously, hopefully as seriously as Djurgården, who were very impressive earlier on, pre-Allsvenskan. Young boys normally have the head-to-heads over Basel and Luzern playing Lausanne Ushi. I'm not sure. No, that's Lausanne. Luzern must be a different kettle of fish altogether. I'm going to have to change Football 24 because I'm getting all sorts of leagues coming up, and it's off-putting. Remember, with Football 24, you can choose your leagues if you've got the app and if you've got the website. I don't want to be hearing all of these scores coming in from the Scottish ladies and all the rest of it, and not what I need. Of course, you fans of Uganda, the police are playing Ginger North at the moment, and it's 1-0 to the Coppers. Lugazu are playing Calvary. Interesting name. Boomer 0-0 at the moment against Karu Karungi. Come on, the Karu Karungi. Solid start from Karu Karungi there. We won't be following Ugandan football. I do apologise for that in advance. So that's all our odds on favourites. Just got to make sure now that I can hear whenever a goal has come in, hopefully. That way. Haven't missed anything. 0-2 to the Spuds, indeed. Completely missed that one. But it did keep the Spurs record going, scoring in the last 38 matches. So that was a lay the draw second half, wasn't it? So now we've got pretty much set up. But Football 24, I'm just going to go over and choose my leagues so we don't have to listen to all of these dings coming in. So I'll get rid of Russia, club friendlies, women's football, all of the Argentinian football, Armenia, Aussie football I think's been done, so I don't have to untick those. Azerbaijan, Burundi, all of this stuff. You can make sure that you're just focusing on football you're interested in and can trade rather than all of this Brazilian football. It's amazing how many leagues there are playing today in Brazil. It just goes on forever. So as you can hear, the dings are coming in the background. So I'm down to Chile at the moment, Colombia, CONMEBOL, Costa Rica. We'll keep the Czechs, keep Czech and Croatian football, because that can be traded. That sound there is the sound of a goal coming in an odds-on favourite match. AAB Alberg have scored first against Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious, so there's no trade there. AAB Alberg, that's why we collect odds-on favourites, just for that simple check whenever there's a goal on in an odds-on favourite match. just do some simple checks and off we go. Lots of German football as well today, but we're only interested in the Bundesliga and the Bundesliga 2. Nothing else. No Ghanaian football for us today either. Guatemala, Hong Kong, ladies football, Hungary, I'll give that a miss today. India, Azerbaijan, no, Iran, Israeli League, we'll keep that. So this just makes the whole process a lot more streamlined, so we don't have to keep looking over at the telephone whenever the goal has come in. At least now we'll know that it's in a match in a league where we are following or monitoring, rather than Mexico, Mongolia, Macedonia, Montenegro, Moldova, Mauritania, Nicaragua, Nigeria. Don't need any of this at the moment. Polish Extra Clash on one league, yeah, we can do with that. Portuguese Segunda League, I won't go any further or lower than that. The Romanian one league is tradable enough, if readable enough. Scottish FA Cup might be of interest a bit later on as well. El Salvador, and a whole raft of Spanish leagues that we can get rid of, all lower tier stuff. We're only interested in Primera Liga and Segunda, particularly Segunda at the end of the season. You'll see when we get to April, we've got a specific technique for playing the last games of the season. A very exciting last day of the season. You can make a lot of money on teams' need for goals. We've got a specific technique to show you, so we'll be looking forward to that for the German Bundesliga 2. All of the other leagues as well, Turkish one league, all of these secondary leagues who have a final match of the season can be very exciting indeed. So Santander have equalised against Tenerife. We were following that one. Alaves have made it 2-0 against Rayo Vallecano. That's not a shock at all. So that's a look at our updated leagues. And that's confirmation there from Dr. Stephen Hawking, who I employ for the weekend to give me the scores. So it's very good of him. Now he's no longer going to Epstein Island. He needs something to do on his Saturdays and Sundays. So Racing Santander and Tenerife, well, I was following that with interest. Not really the pre-match market, but more the in-play stats, and that looks to have been the equaliser, which I didn't pull the trigger with, I'm afraid. Ajax, if this gets to 1-0 70th minute, I will lay that draw. Favourites West Ham are 1-0 down, says Sean. Indeed, I've forgotten about that. Burnley scoring first, but let's get our research up, Sean, and make sure. So once footballtradingprofits.club is no longer with us, footballtradingprofits.com is where you'll be coming for your research, and we'll have other features there as well. Live events will turn into the YouTube channel, so you won't really have to leave this website. It's just footballtradingprofits.club is quite simply a waste of money, because you've not really taken to it, so I'm not willing to pay. I work hard for this. I'm not willing to pay my hard-earned money for something which doesn't work. So where were we? We're looking at West Ham. 3 draws, 3 defeats and 2 wins for West Ham recently. They conceded in the last 7 matches, and they've conceded again today. Very strong favourite against Burnley. I thought pre and post Europa League their odds are a little too short for me. 1-2 win last head-to-head. 7 losses and 2 draws in the last 9 for Burnley. Burnley, a bit like Sheffield United, pretty much done, I would suggest. 4 consecutive away defeats. They've conceded in the last 9. All defeats humming away against the top 8. They're playing 7th today. The only niggle we have here is the relegation trouble. Just checking these licenses as well. 39 minutes left there. Okay. So let's bring up the in-play stats initially. We've got that real niggle at this stage of the season that these sides with double figure positions, talking 16th and lower, can pull it out the hat. You saw Sheffield United vastly improved performance from them last night or yesterday. This Kaiserslautern ending the Desmond Tutu there, which has passed me by a little, but this is the key to profiting from odds on favourites, and it looks as if the odds on 5 got the late goal, so we could have laid the late draw there, which was a pity. I didn't catch that one, which was the whole point of the exercise, is to get stuff like this. Odds on favourites with a good story, I hope, coming from behind and finishing it off with a late win. 0-0 Paix Voller against Volendam at half time. Very, very strong favourites today, Paix Voller, but more so rather because Volendam are such poor side. Brighton has started brightly against Forest, who do score and concede and do tend to have 2 goals in them. I wonder if I think Tottenham might be layable. No shots on target for Aston Villa though, but they do have that home goal bias. So I think if they're short enough, they're layable enough. So let's have a look at this. Why are Pogon favourites? Can we trust them? Well, since the winter break, 3 wins and a draw. Excellent form from Pogon. Since the winter break, loss, draw, and a win for Lubin. The draw, well, they conceded 2 goals in the last 2 away matches after the winter break. They did note they conceded first and then equalised, led, and then. So there's possibilities here for Pogon. 4 goals in their sole home match since the winter break. That's all we can really work off. The gap here between 16th of December and 11th of February is just far too high. It crushes all momentum that teams may have had. So scored and conceded in the last 5 home matches. Pogon scored 2+ goals in each of the last 3 home matches as well. I think this is a possible goer. Intrigued as well by the positive in play stats before they conceded the first goal. It's not normally a league I go to, but this is the whole thing about trading. We're reacting throughout. We haven't got a predetermined route into today's profit making. You could have a poor day of little opportunity, or we could have a bumper day where everything flows. We just never know. That's the beauty of this football trading malarkey. So I think I might take a risk with Pogon against Lubin. Certainly Slavia Prague. Can they get that goal before half time? I can show you that in simulation mode. But Pogon and Lubin, let's head on over. Take a look at this one. As ever, I will lay over 1.5 goals. That covers in the league. 1.67, tempting. I think I might be okay with that. That's my personal choice. You've always got two choices. Just weigh up the amount of time left. Home team at home, in-play stats, motivation, 4th in the league, and whether you like the in-play stats because you've got that option of going match odds as well, where you'd split stake in half, which I'll show you in the simulation mode. So this is another option. Of course, John H is both teams to score no. So I might do that route just to show you. So with this route, well, match odds as well, you can also lay over 1.5 goals, which will severely shorten your liability. This will increase your liability because you're covering multiple score lines. But I just want to show you in the future, probably not worth doing, but 5.1, it will cost about 8 or 9 quid to cover 0-1, 0-2, 0-3. I like to cover the 1-2 scoreline as well. For Zubin, that's going to cost about 5 quid to cover 40. So you've got a total liability here of 14 or thereabouts. Now, if you wanted to limit your liability, quite simply, cover the 1 scoreline, which is the 0-1.
This market has been suspended.
Severely limits your liability. What I would do with John H's both teams to score no is if you've got a troubling match, like Cadiz Atletico Madrid yesterday, pre-Champions League and away from home, and Antoine Griezmann injured. That way, I would probably have gone both teams to score no. Make sure I've got that 0-2 covered, because that's our killer scoreline.
Goal.
Doing insurance.
Brighton Nottingham Forest is 1-0.
So all of that's covered now. That gives you carte blanche to go into the match odds. And Brighton have got the goal before half time. I showed you it multiple times. Did you get involved in the half time market? It's on my list of things to do. But please don't wait for me. So let's have a look. So we'll be backing Pogon, a goal down, at far better odds. And you could lay Lubin at far better odds than you'd have got pre-match. Okay. So that's the positive about going into the match odds market. You can pretty much leave it. Your maximum loss will be about 22 quid if it ends in a draw, which will be £9.76 here, £5.41 here, and £6.84 there. But we're hoping for a goal before half time at least for Pogon to get them up and running. One shot on 3 off and 3 corners. It looks good, doesn't it? It looks good. So unlike Brighton, who deserved that goal before half time, what about Slavia Prague? No shot on target. So the longer you delay, the lower your liability in the half time markets, particularly for Slavia Prague. So let's have a look at this. So don't forget, you can create value by delaying rather than getting involved as soon as there's an opportunity. So here, 1-0 at 3.1, 2-0 at 12.5, any unquoted at 60s, that's pretty decent. This is for a 1.2 favourite, or
This market
I
has
would
been
up it
suspended.
to a 1.35 favourite and lower. This is just assumptions on my part that they're going to score before half time, and they're going to win 3-1, 3-0, any other home score. Tends to happen so often, it's unbelievable. But the niggle, no shots on target. Okay, so keep your liability as low as you dare, while still maintaining a reasonable return, particularly on the 2-0 and any unquoted. I tend to just leave a marginal gain on the 1-0. You've got other options. You've got available stake. If you've got a £20 stake, you can get a uniform profit on that, which is an excellent use of the Dutching confirmation tool here at Fairbolt. Required profit, if you've got a specific profit you want to win. Variable profit, my route. Variable profit, loading profit on the most likeliest next scoreline. Okay, so you've got variable, or got multiple options. Don't automatically parrot me, because you're never going to learn. Do make your own choices, particularly with exiting trades as well as entering trades. So one person might wait, try to eke out another 5 minutes out of the market and then enter. Another person might think that any unquoted is out of the realms of possibility, with only 15 minutes remaining, and might give that one a miss. So there are multiple ways that you can attack these. That's just one option. They've got the first shot on target. Now, it's a gross assumption that Teplice won't even score before half time, of course. We can't keep making that assumption. Pogon and Lubin. How do I pass this on to telegrammers? Let me just see if I can. Now I am. This wasn't changing earlier on. So I hope this is improved. Let me know, please. Otherwise it's a distraction. So that was a Pogon penalty. Oh dear. So can someone quickly please answer in the chat? Otherwise I'm waiting. If you could quickly answer that the sound is okay. Otherwise I'm stuck on this page waiting. Hello? Thank you. Okay. Right, so I'm presuming everything's okay. Thank you very much, Stephen. So let's get back. So Bosun says that Pogon missed a penalty. Oh dear. Pex Voller looking good. Coming to the end of the first half. I thought it was half time though. So if we get stuff like this, just check that this is live and that you're not working with out-of-date data. But certainly this lay the draw second half for Pex Voller. Looks good, doesn't it, against Volendam? Have a quick look. I don't know if I did the research for Zwolle. But there we go. I did give it a throwaway mention. Ajax might be layable today, and indeed they've conceded. So I wish I could follow my instinct. They have been awful pre and post this Europa Conference League. Pex Voller, just have to do some research on them. Celtic have scored first against Livy in the FA Cup. Absolutely no surprise there.
Goal. Ajax Fortuna Sittard is 1-1.
Pex Voller against Volendam. Just want to make sure that we've got we don't have a whole raft of 0-0s recently for both sides. Sound is back. Thank you very much. That's good. Thank you. It's this thing here that froze, and I didn't know why it froze. So thank you for that. So let's have a quick look at Pex Voller, because I didn't research the Eerste Eredivisie. 3 consecutive defeats, but do note one of them was against PSV Eindhoven. That's always going to be a gimme defeat, isn't it? Excelsior, only 2 wins since the 21st of October. It's really poor stuff. No win in 2024. 5 home defeats. 2 draws away is a positive. But no 0-0s, you'll note. That's what we like. They've conceded in the last 17, the last 12 away. Scored and conceded in the last 5 away at Volendam as well. 13th against 18th. It was a 0-5 win last time these two met. So you're going to see an overreaction defensively from Volendam, as you're seeing today, keeping them at 0-0 at half time. That's a victory in itself. The key points will be the goal times table. A strong second half bent, at least conceding for Pex Voller. 2/3 of their goals and scoring. So they do the vast majority of their.
This market has been suspended.
Half, and look at that, 10 goals conceded in the last 15 minutes for Volendam. And there's a Slavia Prague goal before half time. As ever, whenever I show you it in simulation mode, it comes in. When I do it with real money, of course, it ends 0-0 or 0-1. That's the law of sod. So that's the first goal. That's the first hurdle met. £9.16 guaranteed if it ends 1-0. Second hurdle is very juicy, isn't it? With 7 minutes to go, 2-0 at 50 quid. How about a bit of that? Merry Christmas indeed.
Goal.
Indeed.
Slavia Prague FK Teplice is 1-0.
That's what we're expecting, isn't it? Milan have scored first against Empoli. That's absolutely no surprise at all. All pre-Europa League sides, these. Pex Voller, I think we're going to have a look at that draw. The possibility of laying that draw. Because it would be a bit of a surprise, I think, if this was to end 0-0. If the draw is 3.5 or lower, well, it's just on the cusp of it now. And as ever, the longer you delay, the lower the draw odds to lay. So don't forget that. Oh, that's wrong. I do liability when I'm laying. That's okay for me. If Pex Voller score first, we're going to get the marked increase in the draw odds, up to 7s or 8s. If Volendam score the next goal, it's going to be around 3.4 where we've laid at. So hoping to eke out a little bit more out of the market before I pass it on to Telegrammers. But that's how I would approach a lay the draw here. Looking good. Peks Voller score first, we're okay. Haven't really investigated West Ham and Burnley yet, have we? No shots on target, 2 off, 1 corner. Now this is one of those I was talking about. Both teams to score no might be the angle in, given Burnley's need for a win, and that highly unlikely really that they're going to score 3 goals, is it, today? Both teams to score no, the value's probably disappeared. Yeah, 3.6. So just to show you as an illustration the importance of getting involved as early as possible with both teams to score no, I'll take you through it with the West Ham match. Just to show you the kind of outlay if you delay. It's going to be quite costly. It's going to cost you nearly 30 quid, I would say, to cover 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, etc. Well, 15 quid, that's all right. Got to get that 0-1, that 1-2 covered as well. That's 9, so that's similar to that previous match that we were looking at. So now you've got 0-1 covered, you've got 0-2 covered, you've got 1-2 covered. Hopefully those will be the only scorelines that Burnley will win by today. I'm not expecting 3 goals from Burnley. So we go to the match odds. It's quite a hefty outlay of 20 quid insurance. So we will need to be seeing a profit of at least £20 to break even.
This market has been
It's a
suspended.
bit of an ask, isn't it? West Ham at 3.85. And lay Burnley half stake as liability. Of course, there we go. We've got 49 quid in the bag. Slavia Prague 2-0. That's not too shabby, is it? And as ever, I should be swearing very loudly, having done all of that in simulation mode. I could be sitting on 50 quid now. Egypt. So there we have it. 72 quid if West Ham can win. We've got 0-1 covered, current scoreline. We've got 0-2 covered. We've got 1-2 covered. Hopefully if it gets to 1-2...
Goal. Slavia Prague FK Teplice is 2-0.
Stay in with the possibility of that 72 quid at the end. All depending on the profits we can make, and indeed it's all about the goal times as well. So this is probably asking too much of West Ham, really, isn't it, to score the next 2 goals. That's why I do prefer the +1s.
Goal. Slavia
We will
Prague
see.
FK
Those
Teplice
of
is
you who want to
2-0.
have a dabble, why don't you just have a dabble now? Lay Burnley in the half-time market. If you get an equaliser before half-time, excellent. If not, it's cost you nothing to find out. So just want to make sure that the sound's okay. Yeah, indeed, Sean. So I hope you backed 1-0 and 2-0, Sean. Excellent result so far. 3-0, of course. Plenty of time to go for the 3-0. 2-0 already. Celtic is back to 1-1 against Livingston. So don't forget these half-time markets. This was surprisingly liquid. Look at that, 103 quid if they score another goal. But if Teplice score, you're going to lose £12.79. You could take the 52 quid green screen, of course, but what's the point? If you're happy to take a drop of 12 in the hope of doubling your money to 103, by all means do so. So we'll see if Slavia
This
Prague
market has been
have
suspended.
another goal in them with about 3 minutes remaining. So that's an excellent example to you of why we do the 1.2 favourites and lower. Excellent stuff. You can take that off the watch list. And there's that goal from Peks Voller. How has that impacted on
This
the
market has been suspended.
Hopefully it has.
This market has been suspended.
Burnley as
Peks
well.
Voller FC
This market has
Volendam
been
is
suspended.
1-0.
Not sure. Because this just went off and on. But let's go to Pex Voller until I get confirmation. So it's a nice and simple lay the draw, isn't it? Remember, as traders, we're just after the odds movement. It's 0-2 to Burnley, so that's exactly what I was illustrating about the problem this stage of the season in writing off your Sheffield Uniteds, your Millwalls,
West Ham Burnley is 0-2.
Exeters, your Burnleys. So judiciously used.
This market has been suspended.
Save you a lot of money, and you've got John H to thank for that excellent idea. It's all about hedging, isn't it? So here we're making £8 profit. I would be happy with that personally. It's 8% of 100. My aim is always to try to get 3 figures through a busy session. Try to get a 3-figure profit. That puts these small gains into a little better perspective, doesn't it? Because this is 8% of the way there. Now, not counting for my Paris Saint-Germain profits earlier on, Flora Tallinn profits earlier on. I'm well on the route. Now, when I'm using these stakes, I know my maximum loss will be £40. So if you do face a loss earlier on in your session, hoover up your greens. Like your mum used to tell you, eat your greens. So that's the £8 there. Quite happy to give it some breathing space for a little bit longer, because the right team has scored first. As I suggested, the odds would go up to 7s or 8s because the right team has scored first, and it was coming, wasn't it? And this is a good use of in-play stats as a confirmation tool, isn't it? So we can get rid of that. West Ham Burnley. Let me just show you what this has done to the insurance now.
This market has been suspended.
So a good example to you of the right use of both teams to score no. Look at that, 49.99. I hope, Sean, you made that equivalent money for only a £12 liability. Well done to Slavia Prague. Well done to Tottenham Hotspur, continuing their excellent scoring record. Aston Villa caught with their pants down pre-Europa Conference League, I would say. West Ham and Burnley is half-time, so you don't have to do any work there. At the moment, nothing's going to impact on the market, apart from the price of pucker pies at half-time, of course. So let's have a look at what this has done. So we're sitting on a loss here, but we've got the 0-2 covered. We've got 1-2 covered as well. We've got the next scoreline covered. So that gives you an impetus to stay in, doesn't it? Gives you an impetus to stay in. We can't cash out. We'd only make a £5 profit here. And where else did we go? Both teams to score. And we'd get our £15 back here. So we'll make a £5 profit, get our 15 back, and make a £16 loss on this. So it's an okay position to be in, but it's important, if you're doing this, of course, that West Ham score the next goal. It would have been a bit of an ask for me to expect Burnley to score 2 goals before half-time, let alone score 3 goals in 90 minutes, but now that is open. West Ham, I think, are pre-European club competition, and this is going to catch David Moyes and others out. A number of these sides face this dilemma. Is this the reason for Aston Villa's poor performance today? Too many matches. Pre and post. Pre and post. So this is stuck in the middle. You expect it to perform. That's what makes it so difficult at this stage. West Ham as well. Is this an excuse? Look at the Burnley goals as well. Own goal for the second goal. So that's something that we would be alert to, because it's not really a deserved 0-2 lead, is it? But West Ham, you'll see, pre-Europa League against Freiburg, which they lost. So they natural focus on the home match against Freiburg, and then Aston Villa on the 17th. So it's relentless for West Ham. London derby against Tottenham as well on the 2nd of April. So that's the importance of this sandwich weekend. We're going to get question marks about performance, whether they can continue. Just want to check that everything's okay. A lot of own goals today, says Robert. Indeed, well, that's one of them. 0-4 to the Spuds. So that is underlining the Europa Conference League's impact, or the sandwich week's impact on Aston Villa today. Bridge too far. Le Havre looking good at home against Toulouse, but Toulouse are one of those very dodgy sides, very unreadable. When you don't expect them to score 2 goals, they do. When you do expect them to score 2 goals, they don't. So West Ham and Burnley, it's an interesting match. Probably, if I was to talk to telegrammers now, well, both teams to score no is out of the question. Far too short odds. We'll just have a look at the match odds. If Burnley's odds are short enough, they might be label enough. 1.36 and 11.5. So even if you just wanted to back West Ham, keep your liability ultra low, you could back the Hammers. If they can get a goal before the 60th minute, you'll see an impact in those odds of 11.5. The best way is to do a double, is to lay Burnley and back West Ham. That way you've got a little bit on the draw, should it end a draw. So let's catch up with some other matches, because we're missing the Celtic leader. So let's catch up. We've got Club Brugge turning up soon against Leuven.
This market has been suspended.
Rijeka 2-0 up already at half time. I think we can say bye-bye to that one. Unpronounceable name. Ceska Budovica, 1.91 favourite.
This market has been suspended.
There's our old pal Slavia Prague. Fabulous example to you. And now I can get out of my Pex Vola. Now they've made it 2-0. If ever you've laid a draw and it becomes 2-0, it looks like it's just been disallowed. That's the best time to get out 2-0 if you've laid the draw. I think it's been disallowed. Yeah, it's been disallowed. So let's work our way down. We can get rid of these Danish matches ending. Copenhagen on next. Well worth following. Unlikely they're going to get anything out of Manchester City in the Champions League. And Servette got a late winner. I missed that one earlier on. The equaliser for second in the league, Servette. Flora Tallinn, well, they made me a profit earlier on. I'll get rid of these Estonian matches as well. And the Faroe Islands. Klaksvik against Fuglafjordur. And of course, you'll all be sleepless nights waiting for that one. And should have taken Ajax on,
Ajax
shouldn't we?
Fortuna Sittard is 1-2.
Now 1-2 to Fortuna Sittard. Now this makes life difficult in determining whether we're with Logic here and Ajax, or we've paid attention to their very, very poor performances.
Ajax Fortuna Sittard is 1-2.
Recent times. Polish 1 League, 2.5 the favourite. Get rid of that one. Yeah, and those Alaves, well, looks like they got a job done against Rayo Vallecano today. Desperate need for points for both of these teams. Servette, job done. Should have really profited well from that one. We'll get rid of these, and we're up to date. So we've got that Fortuna Sittard lead. Just check on the Fortuna goals. Were they fortunate or deserved? But you've seen the really poor stuff from Ajax recently. Duarte and Sierhus, well, no problem at all. Jordan Henderson playing. I thought he was not playing anymore for Ajax. Well, he's in midfield, so fair enough. Now this is a problem we face pre-Europa League. We've got Noel Edmonds' close friend, Mr. Brobby, from Noel's house party. He's on the bench, but he's a very good goal scorer. When we had that last match where he got the goal back, nearly got the goal back, the 3-2. Oh no, he wasn't playing, but he does tend to come off the bench and does have a goal in him, as you saw against Utrecht and NEC Nijmegen. So we want to see old Mr. Brobby turning up. So that's the problem we face pre-Europe, the necessary resting of some key players. Van der Boomen could have done with Van Basten, I think, rather than Van der Boomen. Forbes and Rikjoff, I wonder if these are forward players. Midfielder and Rikjoff. So I'm unconvinced, but I'll keep monitoring the in-play stats for a little bit longer. We never know with Ajax whether they can at least eke out a 2-2. I'll certainly see whether Mr. Brobby will come on, because he is an established goal scorer. Brighton might be vulnerable late on if it remains 1-0, given Nottingham Forest both teams to score pattern is a very strong one, as is Brighton's. Both teams have scored in all home matches against 12th and lower for Brighton. Nottingham Forest, 2 goals in 4 of those matches against the top 8, winning only 1. So both teams have scored in the last 5 away for Forest as well. Now the problem we have here is in determining the both teams to score pattern. Is it going to be 1-0 to 1-1, or is it going to be 1-0 to 2-0 to 2-1? We don't know which way or how to exploit this both teams to score pattern. It's likely factored in to the both teams to score market as well, so we're not going to get any value there. As you can see, it's evens. Any other way to do it? Backing 2-2 would include whoever scores the next goal. That's at 22s. That could give you a good run for your money. So I might have a little tickle there at 2-2. What other scoreline would be both teams to score, covering both teams? 2-2 is fine for me. 2-1, 1-2 could be possibles as well. So 2-2 at 22s would give you a possible angle in. Both teams to score would have to be hedging towards over 2.5 goals, wouldn't it? But that's exactly the same as both teams to score. Yes, same odds as that. Laying under 3.5 goals at 1.33 might be an option, but I think 2-2 would be the value play here, wouldn't it? It's not often I do variable profit backing correct scores, but 2-1. We're going to ignore the 1-1, 2-2, 1-2, because it is a must win for both of these teams, really, isn't it? 24s, you can load up on these bigger scorelines and keep your liability low. 2-2 would, if you want to just stick to 1, 2-2 would be the most obvious one to stick to, covering the next team to score a goal. So it will, you're guaranteed it will be alive. Indeed, all of them will be alive at this current stage. So don't forget, you've got a number of options. Stake available, 20 quid. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? For a £20 stake, £68 possible gain. So that, you could try something different. So that works, doesn't it? For an extra £6.
This market has been suspended.
Quid on all 3 score lines. So £21, 74 quid, £20 stake available, 68. Now I'm going to berate myself for not greening up Zwolle and Volendam. It's now 1-1 to Volendam. As I've said, as soon as you green up, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. So now I've got to sit on my Aris and hope that Zwolle score the next goal or there'll be a winner. I've got to wait 20 minutes now. So that's a stupid move on my part. Should have taken that 8 quid. Adds to my tally. No, I'm facing that £40 drop, which means I'm on the back foot. So it's not a very good position to be in. So just for that sake of that £8, you can still get out with a £10 loss here. But I remain hopeful that Pexvola can do something, hopefully, today. Levski Sofia, as I've said, sometimes red-carded sides can survive. Not seeing anything from Krumovgrad. Ajax still not happy at all with them. Should have taken them on at 1-0 up. Waiting for the second half, West Ham. Tough match to read, given Burnley's need for a win and West Ham's pre and post Europa Conference League. Brighton and Forest, possibilities, as I say, that both teams will score if that pattern continues for both teams into the second half. Pogon, well, we're waiting patiently. 1 shot on 4 off and 3 corners. Hopefully they will wake up and we won't rue getting involved in a lower league. Club Brugge, just about to begin. French League 1. Strasbourg, Monaco. Well, I would be favouring Monaco, but 2.38 the favourite. Le Havre really caught the eye, haven't they? But it's a tough one to pick. They are looking more like your relegation, your newly promoted side, aren't they? With all of those defeats. Toulouse have been picking up results, but they are an unreadable side more often than not. So let's take a look at this. So 4 consecutive defeats for Le Havre, 2 of them coming at home. Very tight against Rennes and Reims. Both 0-0s at half time, and very unlucky with a very, very late penalty for Reims in that last match, and a 60th minute goal prior to that. Excellent win against Lyon, who have really come into their own second half of the season. And look at this, Toulouse suddenly start winning. 3 consecutive away wins, 3 consecutive wins. So it makes it very difficult to take on a Toulouse lead. But it does suggest that we might see something second half here. But they haven't turned up. Stats-wise, they haven't turned up. Malmo have conceded first against Norrköping, and I think Malmo will be taking this seriously today. But it's such an early goal that it's going to be very difficult to unpack this one. But you could use that both teams to score now, because it's a 3rd minute goal. So both teams to score no will be very high odds. So this could be a good example to you. Although there's very little value. And they were such short price favourites, and it's only 3 minutes in. But as you can see, it's up at 8. So I'm looking to win the amount I want to play with by backing both teams to score no, which covers the 0-1.
This market has been suspended.
And we've got to cover the 1-2. I'm only doing that because it's the cup. 9.8 tends to be the standard.
Goal. West Ham Burnley is 1-2.
£5 or thereabouts. There we go.
Goal.
So now you can go straight.
West Ham Burnley is 1-2.
You can experiment if you want by putting
Goal.
full stake.
West Ham Burnley is 1-2.
Excellent
Goal.
stuff.
West Ham Burnley is 1-2.
Now,
Goal.
let's get this one
West
done.
Ham Burnley
I'm gonna
is
do this with
1-2.
my own cash as well.
Goal. West
I do
Ham
like
Burnley
Malmo,
is
but I
1-2.
do acknowledge this is the cup and it could all go Lionel Blair. So let me just get that done. I think I like the both teams to score no angle here for the cup. So let me just do that one. So both teams to score no. Not much liquidity there. So you'll have to pop down to 7.8. We can't really squabble with these liquid markets. You either play, you were playing it as a hedge. So it's going to be negligible, the difference. 1-2 should be about, oh, it's gone up to 11.5. That's very nice. So it's cost me even less. I think I pressed 12. So I need to go in again. So I've got 0-1 covered, got 0-2 covered, got 1-2 covered. I'm hoping Malmo perform. Bochum have Freiburg have scored first against Bochum. 37th minute. So, going to be backing Malmo at 2.6. And as ever, that D word again, if you delay, you're getting shorter odds about both of these teams. Shorter odds against Malmo. Bigger odds about Malmo to back. Shorter odds about Norrköping to lay. So, we've got it all sorted. We've got 0-1, 0-2. 1-2 covered. Got quite a hefty loss on the draw, which I don't quite like. Your alternative, of course, is to lay over 1.5 goals and then go match odds, and that's going to cost you a negligible amount, 3 or 4. Not 3 or 4. But yeah, about 4 quid, something like that, to cover your standard stake. So let's hope Malmo are up for the cup today. Le Havre and Toulouse, possibility of laying the draw second half. But I would be needing Toulouse to help me out. Being as in they've been in such excellent form, this is the mystery. 3 consecutive away wins, 3 consecutive wins. Why have they not done a stitch today? I don't know. Are they involved in Europe? Let's have a look. West Ham goal, indeed. Let me just break and check our positions. Again, I'm ruining not doing this. Or did I do it with my own money? I hope I did. So it's looking a lot brighter now. You've got the 1-2 covered. That's your last insurance element covered. So you could still get out here if you're not happy, because you've still got the threat of that third goal from Burnley. If they score 2 first half, you can actually get out of here with a break even. Or you won't make a break even because both teams to score no has disappeared. So you have to stay in a little bit longer. Hopefully it will become 2-1 quickly enough, and I might just get interested in a play now. Just the traditional route. Laying over 3.5 goals. So let's have a look. We might be reverting to the usual Burnley away form, which is very poor. But you never know at this stage of the season. You saw an excellent performance from Sheffield United yesterday. So I've laid over 3.5 goals to cover the 1-2. Hopefully West Ham +1 is about 1.9 to evens or thereabouts. Well, 1.85. So a bit skinny. So let's see if the West Ham +1 will do the job. So it'll be a net profit if they equalise of about 25 quid if I don't green up. And as you've seen with Pex Voller, probably a good idea to green, because that was a very disappointing staying in from me there. Because I don't know if they're going to get that second goal now. The longer you wait, well, that's still at 11 quid loss, so I might have to take the medicine. Stupid. Remember, as a trader, I was only after that move from 3.45 up to about 8. And it's all relative to your liability, your return. So I don't know why I was umming and ahhing about trying to get an 8 quid profit. It's all relative to the amount risked. Now this has gone all the way out here now, so don't forget, you can always get involved again and lay the draw a bit later on. So don't worry. I just need to get out of this. I don't like that 33 loss when it could have been avoided. There we go, 12 quid loss. I'll take it. But it's a profitable trade, but poorly managed by me. Levski Sofia might pull off the late win. Wow. So Ajax Fortuna Sittard, about as trustworthy as an Arthur Daly motor, this Ajax side. And I'm sure Jordan Henderson could get you an Ajax, an Arthur Daly motor with his Liverpool connections. West Ham and Burnley, we got the goal back. Is it Bowen? That boy Bowen again? Maybe. Let's have a look. It's Paqueta. There's that Mavropanos own goal. Just added a little bit of confidence if you're taking on that Burnley lead. Don't forget Brighton and Nottingham Forest. Potential both teams to score. No, I might pass that on to Telegram as it's a bit of a fun play. So let's check that one out. Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 0. There's a very, very strong over 2.5 goal pattern for both of these teams. Now the problem is it going to be 1-0 to 1-1 or is it going to be 1-0 to 2-0 to 2-1? If you wanted to lay Brighton in the match odds market at 1.25 or thereabouts, by all means do. Also back Nottingham Forest at 15s if they score next. Other options, you could back 2-2 in the correct score market, 2-1 and 1-2 as well. That covers whoever scores the next goal. And if we do have both teams to score no, it'd be great if Forest scored the next goal. Elsewhere, we're still waiting for that Pogon equaliser. It's the beginning of the second half. Malmo are in the cup against Norrköping, and my argument with sides like Malmo is the Swedish Allsvenskan hasn't started yet. They'll be taking this seriously. They've conceded first. I have shown Telegram, shown live streamers how to do both teams to score no, but I can't really do that with you. Laying over 1.5 goals covers that 0-1. You have to go straight to the match odds market. Back Malmo at about evens. Lay Norrköping at 4s or lower. If you trust the cup. That's the problem with that Malmo match. If you trust the cup. Okay. So let's catch up on some other matches. Just make sure I'm not missing any comments. So that's good. I'll just check the licensing thing here. It's 16 minutes remaining. Okay. So Ajax Fortuna Sittard. It wouldn't surprise me for a late Ajax equaliser here. Just check out if Noel Edmonds' mate turns up. Mr. Brobby. Brobby. So you'll see him on the subs. No, it's Gael has come on. Oh, there he is, Mr. Brobby. 62nd minute. As long as he doesn't bring Noel Edmonds on, we'll be okay. Second half. So one of their key goal scorers is on. That's always a positive sign. 62nd minute. They've been dropping points like flies pre and post Europa Conference League. Obviously impacted them hugely. And as the Desmond Tutu for Aalborg and Vin Diesel just ended, and I didn't really play any of that. What a pity. Good old Desmond Tutu coming in. So let's have a look at our odds-ons. So Brighton, Nottingham Forest, we're looking at the possibility of both teams to score angle at some point. Looking for the possibility of a West Ham equaliser. Given that Burnley's second goal was an own goal. Indeed an own goal. Frankfurt and Hoff, well, I can't unpack this at all. Hoff are on a 2-match winning streak against Dortmund and Werder Bremen. But which Hoff turns up today? That's the eternal question. Bayer Leverkusen scoring for fun. Got us the 2 goals back against Karabakh midweek. The only negative here is Wolfsburg's propensity towards score draws. Don't forget this is pre-Europa Conference League as well. Pre-Europa League, I think, for Bayer. Malmo have already equalised. So that's going to help me out in winning back some of that lost 12 quid there. Malmo, sorry. So we're up and running.
Goal.
So long left in the match.
Malmo
that,
FFIFK Norrköping is 1-1.
If you're collecting green screens, add that to your 8 quid from Zvola, and you're up to 20 quid already. 20% of your goal of £100 for a trading session. So that's not accounting for this. No, I did both teams to score, didn't I? So I can stay in here. I've got the next team to score covered. I've got 1-2 covered. I've got 2-1 covered. So that's the advantage of this. Liability is about 9 quid. So you're just over break even now. just for that single goal. And it's come at good time, 16 minutes. Plenty of time left. Obviously Malmo up for it, given the fact they've got such a quick equaliser. So we're sitting in a good position here. And if you want to take your green, don't forget, you can always take your green. Even these small amounts, they do add up. You'll be surprised. It's like going to a supermarket. You're picking up little bits here for 20p, 12p there, 30p there. By the time you get to the till, it's up to 11 or 12 quid. Or just for those little bits and bobs. That's what you're picking up with these green screens, if you're getting out immediately. Ajax looks like they've got an equaliser against Fortuna Sittard. Probably Mr. Brobby or Noel Edmonds. It won't be Keith Chegwin because he's not with us anymore. Got to be Mr. Brobby. There we go. So if you did play that one, well done.
Goal.
It's been the
Ajax
habit for
Fortuna
Ajax,
Sittard is
recently.
2-2.
That's been disallowed. So that might give me... There he is, look. I told you Mr. Brobby would turn up. And Le Havre, deserved goal against Toulouse. Must be said. Looks like that Ajax goal has stood, and it is Mr. Brobby. So do check your key substitutions, particularly pre and post European
Goal.
club competition.
LD
Liverpool a bit
Havertz
later
is
on as
1-0.
well. Intriguing match, that one. Leverkusen as well. Are they going to rest any of their stars? Eintracht Frankfurt, I think, are involved in Europe. I'm not sure, but I've certainly pointed out to you those who are involved in Europe. If you did play Ajax, well done.
Goal.
Yeah, Mr.
LD
Brobby.
Havertz is 1-0.
No Swedish Cup to play on Betfair. There is Adriano, because it's on Fairbot. So if it's on Fairbot, it's on Betfair. Swedish Cup. Malmo. Norrköping. So it is there, Adriano. It might not be if you're dealing with Betfair through Europe. That would be the through Italy. I'm just guessing that's where you're from. That would be the only reason why there wouldn't be. I don't think I have Betfair up here. Oh, there we do. Yeah. So what you do here, MALMO in your search, and it should be come up here. Malmo against Norrköping, Swedish football, Swedish Cup, 10th of March. Okay, so sorry if you didn't get to that quickly enough. It's certainly there, and that search facility that you've got there. So hopefully that's okay for you. Obviously Bosun enjoyed a bit of Mr. Brobby. So that's 2-2 now. I wouldn't put it past them getting the winner, to be perfectly honest with you. West Ham, well, we're walking the tightrope of a poor European pre and post European performance against a side in desperate need of points. That's the problem with that second West Ham goal. And really poor in-play stats, let's be honest. Only 2 shots on target, but they did come second half. 3 shots off target all second half, and 2 corners second half. So they have woken up second half. David Moyes' team talk seems to be paying dividends so far. Le Havre thoroughly deserved that goal, it must be said. But as I say, with Toulouse, you don't know. 3 consecutive away wins, and then 3 consecutive wins, and then they haven't turned up today. So sides like this, if you can't read them, you can't trade them. Simple as that. Very, very difficult to read. Copenhagen just kicking off. Likely they'll take this one seriously because they're not going to have a chance against Manchester City. 3-1 down already, but they have home advantage. They have a goal. It's only a 2-0 deficit, so they might have some hope. But again, are they going to be impacted today? Pre-Champions League. I think it is pre-Champions League. And pre-Europa League for Liverpool as well. Yeah, Liverpool are playing Sparta Prague. This is pre and post for Liverpool. Man City, no Champions League. This is post Champions League for Man City. So they're going to be less impacted. They've got the FA Cup against Newcastle on the 16th of March as well. So they've got a 6-day gap after this match, so they can give their all. And and then the next match will be the 31st. So a really decent break. Man City can give their all, play a first 11, which they have to anyway. So that's going to be a fascinating match to look at there. So let's have a look at some of these peripheral matches. Make sure we're not missing out. Get rid of Togo. Stade Luzerne against Luzerne, 1.61 favourite. That's coming up next. Young boys as well tend to have the better of Basel. Elche have been performing well in Secunda B. They're 6th in the league. Sporting Gijón. Las Palmas against Athletic Bilbao. I wouldn't discount Las Palmas, but they don't have the best record away against the top sides. Again, I'm just winging that off the top of my head. 2 consecutive score draws. Scored in the last 8 at home. They do have 3-2-1 scorelines against the top 4. And they're playing 5th today. 2 defeats though. All 10 goals conceded at home have come second half for Las Palmas as well. So they're likely to keep it very tight first half. You would expect them to be targeting
This market has been suspended.
a goal first half. Atletico Bilbao not beaten the top 9 side away from home yet. And they're playing 8th today. So this is no gimme for Atletico Bilbao. In-play stats, of course, will reveal all, and it's just 4 minutes in. Pek Zwolle and Volendam, I made the right decision, didn't I? I should have greened up though. That was the correct decision, because once the green is done, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. You can sit back, let whatever may happen happen. So might be one for a late lay the draw. Salvage some of my
This market has been suspended.
liability. So let's have a look at Pek Zwolle. If it gets to 1.25. Oh, looks like they've done it already, the bar stewards. No, it remains the draw. Okay. So just by doing a little bit of this, it looks like we're getting to the very, very end of the match, aren't we? So a fiver here. And a fiver there. And 1.05. There we go. That will get rid of the liability if we get a late goal. So they're all waiting to be taken. 1.07, there we go, that's been taken. We've got 2 at 1.05 to be taken, but a lot of... There we go. So that's all right. Very, very low additional loss for the chance of getting a break even out of this. So that's okay. Cost me about 60p. But I should have got out of the draw straight away. I was only after that Zwolle scoring the first goal. So let's work our way up. We can get rid of that now. Ajax, well done Mr. Brobby. Lecco against Palermo. Well, we've got a 20th in the league.
This market
Lecco
has been suspended.
So are they going to put in an above average performance? Bochum and Freiburg, I don't have a strong opinion, I'm afraid. And it ends 1-1. Zwolle and Volendam. A good example to you of the benefit of greening up, not assuming. Should never make any assumptions in football, as I did there. This is going as I expect. I would expect Monaco to be a lot more competitive today than 2.05, that's for sure. So we've just got a small group of matches. I can't watch the matches, alas, because we'll be having copyright issues. Brighton
This
and
market has
Nottingham
been
Forest,
suspended.
still nothing doing yet from Nottingham Forest, but I would have expected that both teams to score yes, to have a chance today. Pogon, been a little too quiet for my liking, coming to the hour mark. Now, if you don't like how things are turning out, you can always cash out if you've done the +1, of course. So I'll just show you that one. POGON. So that's a lot better than 39 loss, isn't it? So I had to take action there. Oh, well, we've got that covered. So we've got an £8.90 loss here. Should be covered by about a £9, oh well, £10 there. So it's a pretty much a break-even position if you get out of both of these markets at the 0-1. That's the advantage. It's just not working, is it? They're not lighting it up, but they have an excellent recent 4-2 win at home, and this Lubin don't look that good post-winter break. Half-time 1-1, and 2 recent matches for Lubin were 1-1 as well. So we're in a holding pattern at the moment, just waiting for goals to come in. Club Brugge against Leuven. I wonder if Club Brugge have pre and post European club football. Just check all of these sides at this unique weekend, particularly the underperformers. I've not heard much from my odds-on favourites. There they are, just those 2 there. So hopefully not getting any sound issues. Yeah, we're back to that. So just let me know if you can still hear me, because I've just changed that to
This market has been suspended.
there we go. So we've got a suspended market there. Just waiting to see who it is. Is it a Nottingham Forest equaliser? Is it a West Ham equaliser? Is it a Pogon equaliser? Waiting with interest. We can get rid of Rijeka. Don't need to be updated on that one. Similar with Slavia Prague. 3-0, 2-0 by half time. Brilliant stuff from them. Venezia odds on favourites leading, and that's the Pogon match. Yeah, so there's still time for them to do something. Just tidy this up. Malmo, as you can see, 1.46 pre-match, so not extremely strong favourite pre-match. PSG, so we just clean this up. These are our odds on favourites. Kazim Pasa, Ajax and Zwolle. No wins for the odds on favourites. How about Feyenoord with our old pal Giz? Been waiting for Giz to come to Feyenoord. He's on his way. Old Giz Hornkamp, the superbly named Giz Hornkamp, the star of the show for Heracles. At 7 o'clock. So let's have a look. Still looking a bit quiet for West Ham, isn't it? 2 shots on 7 off and 2 corners. I hope you can still hear me okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anything to the contrary, so that's okay. Still, it's like frozen in time, these stats. No one's really adding to them, and they're very, very poor. Just the 2 shots on target. 2 shots on target. So it's a very defensively led pair of matches in the Premier League today. Pogon, only the 1 shot on target second half, but importantly they're keeping Lubin quiet. Just the 1 shot off target for Lubin. 2 shots off target for Pogon, and no corners for Lubin. So they are keeping Lubin quiet, which is a positive, but a 0-2 of course will kill us off here. So if things aren't going the way you expect, don't forget you can cash out of both. Lay over 1.5 goals and Pogon +1. So that's the benefit of doing the insurance as well. Copenhagen looking pretty good against Lyngby today. Pre and post Champions League. I know they're not, are they? Like Man City, they can have a break. They can go full tilt. So there should be no excuses from Copenhagen today. Malmo still remains 1-1. I don't know why I've got Saskia Budivica. And we've got a possible play here with Leuven taking the opening goal against Club Brugge. So let's check that one out. Got to do the research because I haven't researched these leagues. Club Brugge against Leuven. And Venezia make it 2-0 in Italian Serie A B. So we work our way down. Club Brugge in decent nick, only 2 defeats since the 12th of November. All against sides with A starting their names. And they're playing OH Leuven today, who have not had a win in 4 matches. Not scored that second goal in 4 matches either. They did get an equaliser, or they got a 1-1 against RWDM. If there is 2 matches left, we must make sure that there's no dead rubber for Club Brugge. Certainly not a dead rubber. Plenty to play for. Game in hand as well against second and third. If they can break into the 50 points with a win today. So plenty of motivation for Club Brugge. How about Leuven? Plenty of motivation for them as well. Don't forget, you get a more accurate feel using the live standings for motivation. So Club Brugge in 4th place. But look at the importance that this win could have on Leuven today. Whole raft of teams on 29. But they'll importantly take themselves 6 points from 3rd bottom. But positive goal difference against Charleroi. And the young boys have opened up against Basel, as you can see there. So Club Brugge and Leuven might have some legs to it. And it was certainly a very good start from Club Brugge. So is that enough for me to rely upon them? Again, we'll just have a quick look. Again, I didn't finish looking at all of the recent form. But only 2 defeats for Club Brugge is excellent stuff of late. Where's that second goal for Leuven? They've scored in the last 11 matches, Club Brugge, and the last 7 at home. 4th against 13th. It was a 0-1 win last time. They've got an excellent record against 3rd and lower at home, unbeaten. They scored 2+ goals in all matches at home against 10th and lower. 100% wins against 11th to 15th. Leuven, all defeats against the top 5 away from home. It does look a compelling argument for taking on this Leuven side, doesn't it? Although we do face the need for points being the only reason for them to get the win. 10 of 14 goals scored come first half, so if they were to score, it was going to be a first half breakthrough. 19 of 32 goals scored by Club Brugge come second half. A whopping 15 of those goals have been the last half out of the home match. I think this one has legs. I did like their stats before they started, Club Brugge. So let's have a look at what we can get out of this. So just keep an eye on Pogon. Don't forget you can cash out at any stage. £13 loss, profit £14 loss there. So effective break even. And it will insure you against any unexpected 0-2 late on. Laying over 1.5 goals, of course, is my go-to. Now, if Club Brugge +1 is marginally above 1.11 or significantly above 1.11, I will stop there. I would look at it at potentially 1.7, 1.8 odds. So let's have a look. Club Brugge. Well, that's far too short. That's a damning indictment on the market's expectation for Leuven. 1.36 in the +1 has to have you going into the match odds market. So that's the negative here. I do prefer staying at +1. That's 20 it should be. So you can experiment by loading up full profit on Club Brugge. I can do that in simulation mode to see if we get a better gain out of it. So as things stand, I'll be back in Club Brugge with half stake. laying OH Leuven half stake as liability. Got a 12-second gap as well, so place both bets at the same time if you can. You don't want half of one to be met. There we go, that's perfect. So just as I was saying, let's try something different. See whether we can increase our profit. So we're going to lay over 1.5 goals. To cover the 0-1, and we're going to load up all profit on Club Brugge in the match odds market. That will require a quick response from Club Brugge. That's the problem. I don't think this will be a wise move long term, but when you've only got 1.36 for the +1 market, it's really, you've got to find some way to eke out a profit. We'll see whether this works, because you're getting a £40 loss on the draw. So we've got the 0-1 covered. So we will see. And there won't be that, as with the Pogon match, this will be out of kilter with your insurance, because, or it might not be. We'll wait and see. So we might be onto something here, just as a way to make bigger final gains if they pull off the win. That's how I did it back in the old days, but I found by backing and laying you could cover the draw, or at least reduce your loss on the draw. 78th minute and still nothing from Nottingham Forest. Very, very quiet defensive matches in the Premier League. More so West Ham and Burnley. Only 2 shots on target. 11 off for West Ham, but 3 shots on target, only 2 second half for Nottingham Forest. 2 shots off target second half. So going into those high odds 2-2s, 1-2s and 2-1s, kept your liability low, hasn't it, while you're still having a play. I think I might be getting out of Pogon soon, because it's just someone's pressed the pause button on the 50th minute 25 minutes ago. They've not done a thing, so they are open to conceding a second goal. That's the problem. Club Brugge look pretty good, don't they, against OH Leuven. I'll pass that one on to Telegrammers. Club Brugge against OH Leuven in the Belgian Jupiler League. I would look or search for this match under OH, new word, Leuven, and you'll get to the match. Laying over 1.5 goals, and I'm gone to the match odds market, back to Club Brugge half stake, laid Leuven half stake as liability. Club Brugge having a very good season. OH Leuven no win in 4, yet to score that second goal. Tend to lose against the top 5 away from home, playing 4th today. Club Brugge are unbeaten, I think, at home against 4th and lower. So on paper, it's a good possibility of an equaliser there. I have to say on paper, because it's what happens in play
This market has been suspended.
that is the key to success. Wonder which match that is. Is that West Ham starting to light up the attacking pressure index? 70, as you can see there. Running out of time to get that desperate equaliser.
Goal. Club Brugge Leuven is
Oh, that's lovely. Not good for Telegrammers. Sorry. Oh, pays to follow the live stream for very quick notifications. So that's the 1-1 already. That's excellent stuff, particularly when you're going match odds, isn't it? And Did I do this with real money? I hope I did. I keep getting caught out with this. Yes, I did. Good.
Goal. FC Copenhagen LYNGVY is 1-0.
Well, that was coming, wasn't it, for Copenhagen? You saw that with the in-play stats, and they don't have the Champions League, so full tilt. And it's already 2-0 for the young boys. Aalborg is 3-3 against Vin Diesel. That might be a late lay the draw there. So again, we're talking about collecting greens. £4 loss. And about a tenner there. Add that to your 11 quid from before. Add that to your 8 quid from before. You see what we're getting to now. That would be 28 quid. That's 28% of 100. Just for these shorties like this. And as you know, once you're out, it doesn't matter. You're guaranteed that green. So it's a nice early goal. It was a very, very confident market. 1.36 in the +1 market for Club Brugge. But they will need to score that second goal now to get me a decent return. Or I just cash out now. Collect the greens. Or investigate. Can I negate my liability while still having a good shot at a big profit, or a relatively good profit? OH Leuven, not going to cost too much to get rid of that, but the real loss is going to come in getting rid of that 13 quid on the draw. As you can see here. So that's an £18 profit on Club Brugge. We can make £12.54 now. Wow, 2-0 for Copenhagen already. Wow. So you could stay in, or you could negate liability, or reduce liability. Just something a bit more tolerable. So there's plenty of ways for you to work it like this. Okay? Or you could take the 12 quid and run to the hills. So that, don't forget, 100% defeats for Leuven against the top 5 away from home. Get rid of that 38 quid. I don't want to be dropping £38. So there we go. That's reduced that considerably now, without hugely impacting on my potential profit there. So that's good stuff. West Ham did.
FC Copenhagen LYNGVY is 2-0.
Yeah, we can get rid of that now. Celtic Livingston, the FA Cup, looks very, very
This market
competitive. 2-2 already. We've got another suspended market. Is that the West Ham goal? Is that the Brighton Nottingham Forest equaliser? Is that Pogon? Is it Club Brugge making it 2-1? It's the West Ham equaliser. Sorted. Kushti. Did I play West Ham with my own money? I did. West Bram. So let's have a look at this one.
goal. West Ham Burnley is 2-2.
I went +1, didn't I? I laid over 3.5 goals. Cost me a tenner. And I go on West Ham +1. So that's all right. Again, adding this to your 8 quid from before, 11 quid from before, 9 quid, that'll be 28 plus 14 here. 38, 39, 40, 42 quid. As you can see, these little bits of green building up, and this is only a very conservative stake, isn't it? Very conservative. The thing about the stake like this, it doesn't stop you from having a play, does it? So I'm out of this. I'll make this 24 minus my lost commission, lost insurance premium. So I'm very happy with that one. Well done to West Ham. And if you did both teams to score no as well, let's have a look at that one. So these are carbon copies of the Sheffield United match yesterday. It's amazing. So we're on a slight £4 loss on the draw, but it opens the door up to 72 quid on West Ham. If you're happy to take all of these losses before you place them in the hope of winning the bigger amount, then by all means do so. We'd have lost the correct score, won't we? Oh no, yes we do. 1-2 should be dead because it's 2-2. So that's just a sign of an illiquid market, isn't it? That's just ridiculous. Because it's definitely 2-2. So something is, or is it? No, that's been disallowed. Looks like that goal has been disallowed. Yeah, just been scrubbed off. What a pity.
This market has been suspended.
Or has it been re-added? I don't know. It's been scrubbed off at Football 24. No, it looks as if it's been scrubbed off here. Ah. So all of this greening up I've done, it's going to be negated. That was our goal. That was our goal for profit. Danny Ings. No. Goal disallowed. Offside, Danny Ings. Oh, man. And Young Boys having an excellent time of it against Basel. Wish they could play them every week. We don't need any more. Oh, we could lay Young Boys, perhaps. It's a derby style match. Very, very early lead for a 1.8 favourite. Elia, Mitten and Montero. It's a throwaway lay, but looking at the head-to-heads, Young Boys have been the dominant force. Although Basel won the last one. Tends to be Basel at home performing better. Young Boys at home performing better. 3-0 last home win. 2-4 as well, and a 3-0 as well. So they have it in them to take Basel to town. Pogon, the last 7 minutes of the match. Not seen a shot on target since the 50th minute. We're getting sporadic shots from Lubin, which is not nice. So it's a difficult one. Do we get out of jail? Malmo against Norrköping, I should have done really with the Club Brugge and negate the liability. Because it's the cup and it's such an early equaliser, I could have got my liability back in the bank. Talking about that, I could still do that now. Let's see how much it will impact on the 28. It's already a small profit, so I don't want that to be lost. The important thing is to get that 30 quid down. So it's not much of an additional gain, is it? So let's just see. No, we might have to increase our losses, because that's going the wrong way now. Might have to increase our losses to get a better return.
This market has been suspended. This market has been suspended.
So make it 20 quid. And there we go. We've been done by that 0-2 to Lubin. As I said throughout, I'm really disappointed with myself for not getting out of that insurance, because I saw the warning signs, and it's now 0-2 to Lubin, and that's exactly what I'm saying about
Burnley is 2-2.
getting done like that. Ah, disappointing.
Goal. Pogonch Chessy exactly to Lubin is 0-2.
You saw the commentary on it throughout that match, didn't you? We didn't see a shot on target for them for 24 minutes. Should have cashed out of the lay of over 1.5 goals and the Pogon +1 to create an effective break even. But we could be rewarded with that loss, but with a profit now. West Ham, if that goal stands, we are okay.
Goal. West Ham.
Seeing as this is half time, I believe, might give this a bit of breathing space. But it looks like West Ham have made it 2-2, but I'm disappointed with Pogon. That's another avoidable loss. Really disappointed. Because it's a long... if you've been picking up greens, it's a long way down that 40 quid, isn't it? And it's unavoidable. Sorry, it is avoidable. It's disappointing there. West Ham +1. Well, that's okay. So we've got a bit of our profit back. For the sake of 6 quid, I'm quite happy to take the 25 now. As you've learning today, you don't take anything for granted. We might see a late Burnley winner. But that's taken a bit of the gloss off that Pogon by that Pogon loss. Disappointing. Avoidable as well. You can see it here. That's why in-play stats are so key. They can act as a confidence booster, and they can also tell you, well, I'm not going to be playing the cup myself, Bosun, but it's 2-2. Livingston having a good run of it at the moment. Let's look through some of our matches which we've neglected. Looks like Luzerne are putting in a dominant display against Stade Losanouchi, who are newly promoted, so could be gettable. Elche, well, that's what I'm expecting, an Elche lead, so no surprise there. Basel might be layable, because it shouldn't be this emphatic. It's a throwaway lay, of course, 1.02, so it's not going to cost you anything if you want to have some fun with that one. No surprise really, Atletico Bilbao, but don't forget they've had that struggle against the top. And there's that Desmond for Aalborg I mentioned many moons ago at 3-3. If you've got that, well done. Please do listen out for the odd nuggets. I might not be able to follow them up myself, but it doesn't stop you from. And I did give that a good mention. AAB Aalborg. That was a very busy 3-3, wasn't it, that one? And that'll be what you're hearing here. Bang. 4-3. So, well done to West Ham. I've guaranteed myself a return there now. You might want to drip lay the draw. It's must-win territory for both of these teams. So I might just pass that one up to Telegram. West Ham 2, Burnley 2. I would be keen on drip laying the draw, given the need for points for both teams and the fact that West Ham have come from behind to get them on 2 occasions, I believe, to get themselves back on parity. Plenty of time left. Lay that draw as low odds as you can get. So just going to get Football 24 back up. No, okay. Right, Bochum have a goal back against Freiburg, but as I say, I don't have a play then. And Liverpool Man City just kicking off. Back 0-0 pre-match. It's one of those derby style matches, of course. Could be a nervy old affair. Just put as an experiment, just see what it's like backing 0-0 pre-match at its highest point. I'll just do it with 40 quid, although that's far too high a stake for odds of 21. This could be a tight, nervy old affair. How long can we last at 0-0? The title is up for grabs. Austrian Bundesliga about to begin. And 2 shots on target already for Man City away at Liverpool. Match I'd love to watch. So I'll call this a day at 4:30. And I'll stay on Telegram. We didn't really have anything after the live chat yesterday, I'm afraid. Just nothing doing. Very frustrating evening. Lille odds on against Rennes. we've got a suspended market. Who's that? Is that a late goal in the West Ham match? We will soon find out. Nope. Austria Klagenfurt, Wolfsberger, Hartberg, Austria Vienna. They're the odds on favourites later on. Ceska Budovica, Trinity's Lynn. Good stuff from Ceska coming from behind. With a no from Trinity coming from behind to get a late equaliser. Desmond, if you wanted it there. You saw the AAB Aalborg one come in. So if it's a nice busy match, particularly second half, then target that for a Desmond. Lay that draw or lay that scoreline.
This market has been suspended.
That could be the end of the West Ham match, I would suspect. Good result for Monaco there. I don't know anything about the Bochum-Freiburg match, I'm afraid. So we can pick our battles. Brighton and Forest ends 1-0 for the both teams to score. Pattern ended by what has been a very good defensive display from Brighton. Well done to Brighton there. West Ham, can we get a late winner from one of these two? We've got a suspended market. That sounds like the end of the match. No. So we're waiting for second halves to begin for Club Brugge and for Malmo. Especially with Malmo, I would like them to score the next goal. Because I haven't negated any loss. But they're looking good. They look like they're up for the cup. West Ham is guaranteed 2-2 against Burnley. Another good performance from a relegation threatened side, scoring 2 goals but not winning. That's the story of their season, isn't it? Scoring but not winning. Lucerne looking good against Lausanne-Ouchy. Possibility of a goal before half time if this newly promoted side Lausanne-Ouchy are vulnerable. Austria Vienna, odds on favourites, about to kick off at 4 o'clock. So that AAB was brilliant. 9 dangerous attacks from Man City of late. Have a look at the team news. Got any of the big guns back for Liverpool? Let's have a look. Lineups. Yes, Darwin Núñez is back, playing from the start, which is a key, I think. Preferred to Cody Gakpo, who's been filling in very well. Soboslai's back, so that's another big positive. Still playing with a few peripheral players. Diaz doesn't normally get a start. Who's on the bench? Mo Salah's on the bench. Robertson's on the bench. This is again with the Europa League in mind. You're always going to have to give something pre and post Europa League, and particularly with Arnold, Alisson, Diego Jota, Gravenberch, Jones, Konate, Matip all absent. So advantage for me really with Man City, but we will see. The derby style match, as you know very well. Who's not going on my Christmas card list? I'm just going to check out his name. And that's gutting as well, isn't it? That was our out. Kermanovsky, well, he's not getting any Christmas card from me this year. So what have we got upcoming after 4:30? Tough match, Frankfurt against Hoff. You don't know which Hoff turns up. 2 consecutive wins, including beating Dortmund. But that doesn't tell you if they're trustworthy today. Bayer Leverkusen. Can anybody stop them scoring this season? Juve Atalanta, bit of a derby style match this for me. I wouldn't be bearing any mind on the pre-match odds. Fiorentina Roma's. Roma's odds look pretty big. Is that because it's pre-post Europa League, I think, for Roma? But Daniele De Rossi's got them scoring and scoring plenty of goals. Could be very big odds at the end of this match. One of these two is an odds-on favourite. Botiv Plovdiv and Ludogorets. We can just double check that. Yeah, 1.85 has scored first, so there's no surprise there. So NEC Nijmegen just kicking off now. They were odds on earlier on. No, they weren't. Okay. So just get this out of the way. That's it. So Las Palmas, it's a tricky one, that. Real Madrid, odds look a little bit too short for me I think they're pre-Champions League, I'm not sure. Or post-Champions League. Betis and Villarreal, these two are too well matched, I'm afraid. For a strong opinion. That's why we do the research. We're looking for the readable matches. Readable matches will make you more consistent profit than trying to gamble on the possibility of a goal. As we're doing with Club Brugge at the moment. So I'll just see if these are finished. Yeah, okay. Contact or reactor to run. Okay. Right. Contacts library tab in your DAW. Okay, I better keep that up for afterwards. I'll get rid of that. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. Gutted missed Copenhagen in the first half. 3 late goals indeed. But were they 1.35 or lower, Sean? They were short price. Yes, they were, Sean. I'm as gutted as you are. After that Slavia Prague show.
This market has been suspended.
1-0, 2-0, any unquoted. You could have had a 3-figure win if we used the same stakes as we did with Slavia Prague. So you're quite right, Sean. And I'm sorry, I know that they're playing in the Champions League, but it should have been obvious that it's a Sunday match. So obviously they're not playing this week. And Liverpool have opened the scoring against Manchester City. So that 0-0 pre-match is killed off. This is your archetypal derby-style match. I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I don't get involved. Could be layable, Liverpool. Goal disallowed. I think disallowed. Just waiting for confirmation of that. Likely to be your man, Mr. Man Bun, Darwin Núñez. So the old Man Bun got the goal. No. Darwin Núñez puts the ball into the net. Yeah, flag for offside. He is the difference for Liverpool this second half of the season. I saw him in Bangkok, Darwin Núñez, in his first ever match for Liverpool. And indeed the first managerial match for Den Haag. So let's catch up. Second half beginning for Club Brugge. We're looking for a goal from them. Second half for Malmo. We're looking for a second goal from them, particularly because I didn't negate my liabilities in the Malmo match, particularly with that Pogon loss. I don't know what's going on. Oh no, it's been disallowed, hasn't it? So that's okay. So this gives you an idea of risk reward for backing 0-0 pre-match. It's not too hot, is it? This is 20 minutes gone. It's only gone from 21 down to 17. It's because the market can't believe that this will end 0-0. Despite a lot of backers, as you can see there. These people are probably of the same mind as me. It's a title match. You don't want to concede the first goal. So waiting for the equaliser, Club Brugge and Malmo. I'll just get back to the Malmo match. I think I came to the conclusion I might as well just stay in. £40. I can get rid of that, yeah, given what happened with Pogon. So, oh, that's the wrong one. So we're looking at the draw and Norco. So it's frozen a little bit now. No, that's better. That's gone far too overboard. So if I'm happy for a £12 loss on the draw, then it might be worth my while. If I can reduce that to 6 or something without it impacting on the profit. There we go. How about that? That looks okay for me. £7.90
Wheel ran is 0 to 1.
for the potential of a 20 quid profit there. Or you could take a tenner now, of course. I want to get rid of that 40 quid, given what happened with Pogon earlier on. There we go. That's nice. That's options at exit. Don't forget, you've got multiple options at exit, all dependent on a number of factors: shots on target, shots off target, amount of time left, whether the team's playing at home or not, stuff like that. Rennes have scored first against Lille. I thought Lille were odds on earlier on. One of these must have been odds on, because I would have got alerted to it.
Wheel ran is 0 to 1.
It is there. That's a top 8 clash. 1.91 favourite pre-match Lille. So we might have some legs here. I don't think I researched this one. I did. Pre and post Europa Conference League for Lille. That could be their Achilles heel. We've seen them drop like flies today, haven't we? Only 5 defeats all season. It's very hard not to back Lille now, a goal down, isn't it? With only 5 defeats all season. 3 consecutive home wins, no defeat in 8 at home, scoring in the last 11 at home, 2+ goals scored in the last 3. They've led at half time in 8 out of 11. Led in 8 out of 11 at home. I'm sure that should say half time. 4th against 8th, 2-2 last head to head. They're yet to play 4th to 8th at home, so we've got a bit of a gap. Man City have opened the scoring against Liverpool. So that 0-0 dead in the water. You saw the confidence that the 0-0 had only gone from 20 down to 18 after 20 minutes. So the markets were expecting 6 consecutive wins and a draw for Rennes prior to their 1-1 draw against PSG, prior to the last loss. So they have been in decent nick coming into this. So a difficult side to oppose. They've not beaten the top 8 yet, so in play for me today, in play stats to double check on everything. Malmo looking good for a possible winner. 90 on attacking pressure index, doing what Djurgården did earlier on. They were very emphatic earlier on. So we'll keep an eye on Lille's in play stats. I don't know whether to oppose Man City or not. It's a derby style match, isn't it? Anything can happen. Likely it'll most likeliest outcome you'd expect would be a draw. Bochum are looking okay, aren't they? 6 shots on 12 off and 8 corners, 57 dangerous attacks against Freiburg. Odds are getting certainly short enough if you wanted to take on this Freiburg lead. Research unlikely to give us much, but we can check. 8-match unbeaten home run ended against Leipzig for Bochum, so they're hard to beat. Both teams have scored in the last 6. Freiburg only 1 win in 9, 4 consecutive away defeats, no draw in 9 away. Bochum have been solid at home, and indeed their in-play stats are looking good as well. So let's have a look at Bochum. Bochum Dano. What are Freiburg's odds? Are they short enough? Certainly dipping a toe in by backing Bochum would be a good start. And you could top it off by just laying Freiburg for the remaining 4 quid to make it a tenner. Or you could just stick like this. Because if we get a quick Bochum goal, those odds of 20 are going to drop markedly. We'll be back on parity then with the draw as favourite. So a massive 15p already. How long have we got left in this one? 79th minute, so 11 minutes left. It's a bit of a stretch to ask for the win, isn't it? So the lay of Freiburg would have been the wiser move. But I can wait and hold out for a little bit longer. Good in-play stats, bearing in mind only Leipzig have beaten them recently, haven't they? 12 shots off target, 9 corners, 61 dangerous attacks to 20. Really good performance from Bochum today. But will they score that second goal? Malmo looking on the cusp of making it 2-1. Can they get through? Yeah, 108 attacking pressure index. You know what happens normally when you reach 100 plus on the attacking pressure index? We normally see a goal follow. Lausanne and Lausanne Ushi, possibility of laying the draw second half, given Lausanne Ushi are newly promoted, and Lucerne are putting in a good fist of it, 6 shots on 2 off 2 corners. I would have to check the match form for these two as well. Lille against Rennes, nothing doing yet from Lille. 3 wins in 4. Osterwiener starting brightly after 12 minutes, as you'd expect of a very short priced favourite. Bochum, we're just waiting for the possibility of that equaliser from them. And we can get rid of a couple of these in the Ivory Coast. And move on down. Fenerbahce odds on Favs today. I've just got that inkling with the young boys that they might be layable, but they can give a real pasting to Basel with home advantage. But if it's 101, you know what to do. Well, 103. So just up that a little bit. There we go. Well worth a punt. A whole half to go. Basel are no also rans, but looks like the market getting this right today, and the young boys really enjoying playing Basel yet again. But all it takes is a 3-1 with a well-timed 4th goal before the hour mark, and some jitters in the market. Even a goal before half-time, of course, from Basel could change the whole complexion of the half-time team talk. That's Ludogorets making it 0-2, so I think we can get rid of that. 1.8 the favourite. So still Malmo stand out, as you can see there quite clearly. Yeah, Sean is spot on. My mind exactly, Sean. They are knocking on the door, aren't they? They've got a good profile at home. Freiburg have a poor profile away from home. So the only negative we have is the clock, not our friend. That's the Ludogorets match. We can get rid of that now, I think. So interesting Premier League today. Final to come up, 1.08. Fenerbahce 1.2, and the odds on favourites Ludogorets, we don't need to know about them anymore. Ceska Budovica, there's that Desmond there, Aalborg. This is what you'd like to see in your ideal Desmond Tutu. Odds on favourite at home, having to pull it back from 2-2 from 2-3. But you get involved there, and Bosun was right. Celtic don't tend to lose against Livy. It's 3-2. So 2-3 there, but it would be a bit of an ask to get the Desmond on there, but you could have laid Vin Diesel here and Jorgensen getting the 2 late goals. Looks like a possible hat-trick for Jorgensen today, unless it's a different Jorgensen to the one who got the opening goal. So I'll say goodbye to you at 4:30, so you can watch a bit of the Man City Liverpool match, as I'd like to watch as well. And I'll still stay on Telegram. Hopefully it'll be a busier evening than it was last night. Just if there's nothing doing last night, I've got nothing to pass on. But it's been okay so far. There's plenty of action. Fenerbahce 2 shots off 3 corners. Malmo on the cusp, aren't they, of getting that winning goal. Club Brugge 5 shots on 1 up, 7 off and 7 corners, making the right noises. Let's hope, coming to the hour mark, that we can get a goal from these 2 sides. Keep an eye out on Lille, having an excellent season, only beaten 5 times this season as well. Austria Vienna looking okay, as are Fenerbahce. Don't forget the 20-minute rule with Fenerbahce. Come in twice. Copenhagen, Slavia Prague. But Fenerbahce have let us down a couple of times with recent performances. And you can see where the sides are good. You go to SpreadX. Good for their pre-match odds coming up, if they cover Turkey, of course. So go to the sports betting website. If they got the Turkey match, I don't need to log in, I don't think. Okay, looks like I've cancelled it. Okay, so let's get the Turkey match, see if we can find it. 42 more markets, let's have a look. I've never really sussed out the spread betting element, because with the spread betting, you make more money the righter you are. So where were we going? Fenerbahce, we're looking at Fenerbahce's when they're at odds on. You can get this as well at Bet Explorer, I think. Pre-match odds in previous performances. So you're looking at Fenerbahce here, 1.3, 0-2 at full time. I don't know if there's a goal before. 0-2 at half time. First goal, 25th minute. So they did it last time. So this will just give you a confidence booster or otherwise. 1.18. Did they get any goals before half time at 1.18? Poros Jackson. Kazim-Pasa did. Okay. No, they didn't. And that was at home as well. But some of these matches have been played without a crowd. So that's always a slight concern. Get back to the stats centre. You can have a look at another recent one. 1.17. So they've not been performing well at odds on, have they? Short odds on. 2-1, 2-2. Well, that's okay, 0-2. Have a look at this one. 12th minute goal for the opponent again. So they got Edin Dzeko in the side as well, and Batshuayi. Some really good players, this Fenerbahce side. I'm sure Edin Dzeko's got plenty to give. So that will give you an idea of how teams perform at 1.2 and lower. I think Bet Explorer is the other one, which gives you the odds for previous results, which is very, very handy.
This market has been suspended.
So let's see if we can find that.
Goal. Club Brugge Leuven is 2-1.
Yes, Club Brugge goal. Good stuff. Now I can get out of that one. Or Turkey. So there's a Fenerbahce match. As you can see, 1.18. You click on Fenerbahce, it should give you a look at their previous form and their odds. So it gives you a good indicator of how these teams get on when they're very short odds favourites. There we go, 1.26, 0.5. 1.12, 1-0. But this is head-to-heads. Pend Explorer newly promoted, by the way, so they might give some resistance. But these are the results. This is what I'm talking about. 1.18, 2-1. 1.17, 2-2. How about when this lot of... There haven't been really big outsiders for quite a while. How about Pend Explorer when they're really big outsiders? We're talking 1.14s. We haven't had those odds since Galatasaray on the 2nd of December. So Pend Explorer have been... The market's not really put them as huge outsiders. 0-2 for Galatasaray. Don't get the timing of the goals though. So there we go, 69 and 82. So they could put in a good defensive display, Pend Explorer. So watch out for them. 2 shots off, 3 corners for Fenerbahce. This is just to give you an idea about that 20-minute rule.
This market has been suspended.
So let's have a look at Club Brugge. Now can Malmo do what Club Brugge did?
Goal. Club Brugge Leuven is 3-1.
Oh, that's even better. 3-1. Lovely jubbly. I can definitely cash out now. So that's looking very nice indeed. Guaranteed profit there. 24-second delay, so please make sure you cash out at your earliest opportunity. Just ignore that 1.15, that's totally wrong. 3-1, excellent performance. It was Malmo who looked more likely to score than Club Brugge. So a 24-second possible delay is quite a hefty delay there. So get rid of that.
Club Brugge Leuven is 3-1.
Lille still haven't come to life just yet. Pre and post European club competition as well. Only 5 defeats all season though is what really caught my attention. Having a look elsewhere. Dinamo Zagreb about to kick off, 4:30 probably. No reaction yet from Liverpool. I'll be watching the second half of that with interest. And as Sean says, Bochum do deserve an equaliser, but the clock is not our friend. Backing them at 20s, kept my liability as low as possible. Well, Lecco have performed well away from home, but 20th in the league. They've been caught out now in Serie B, but putting in some good in-play stats. Keep an eye on them. And we've got that lay of the young boys at 1.03 or lower, which is unlikely to come in. But you never know. Basel are not exactly also-rans, are they? They have been involved in Champions League football and all the rest. So we're looking good at the moment. I'll say goodbye to you at 4:30. Fenerbahce in the conference in 4 days' time, says Paul. So thank you for that, Paul. That could give us another warning. Thank you for that, Paul. And the way you find these details out is either by going to look on Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Oh, this is next week. So we've got an international break next week. Oh, sorry, 2 weeks' time. International break in 2 weeks' time. So Arsenal, Porto, Barcelona, Napoli.
0-2.
I think, no, Porto will have played yesterday, wouldn't they? And on Wednesday, and it's 0-2 to Rennes, so I'm glad I kept an eye on that match. Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Dortmund and PSV. And this is what Paul's alluding to. There's Fenerbahce in the Europa Conference League against Union Saint-Gilloise. So these are all sides who could potentially underperform today. Just a 1-0 win for Brighton. Roma, not even favourite. Liverpool, tough encounter. AC Milan just getting the single goal win. West Ham drawing. Villarreal, Marseille yet to play. Leverkusen yet to play. Atalanta got a tough match with Juventus. Sporting and Porto yet to play. Olympiacos got a tough fixture today in a possible title contender fixture. Club Brugge doing good, 3-1. Aston Villa losing. Fiorentina got a tough encounter today against Roma. Dinamo Zagreb about to kick off at 4:30. So thank you for that reminder there, Paul. So that's just taken the gloss off whether to get involved before half time in that Fenerbahce match, hasn't it? No shots on target. So 4 minutes to go until I can switch on and watch the second half of the Liverpool Man City match, and Celtic make it 4-2. So well done, Robert, getting involved in that cup match there. I tend to avoid cup matches and derby style matches. Call it a style match because it's not really a derby. Something like Arsenal, Liverpool, that kind of thing. It's a high profile one-off affair where form lines can be thrown out the window basically. So I would be a little reticent in taking Rennes on just yet, although the market's not really favouring them, is it? It's waiting on Malmo. We've gone a little bit quiet, but they've still got 23 minutes. And this is what the problem you have flirting with the cup. You don't know whether they're up for it fully or not. Watch out for the second half, Stade Lausanne-Ouchy in Luzerne, and while it's a little quiet we can just research that match, see if there's a good second half angle, and you'll need FC Stats for that one. So that would be Switzerland matches, or no, table. They've just changed this round a little bit. So again, I just wanted to know who's home and who's away. Stade Lausanne-Ouchy are at home and they're bottom of the league. And as you can see, they've only had the one win all season. They lost 0-3 and 2-1 to Luzerne already this season, so that's quite compelling. Luzerne pretty poor away from home, apart from when they start playing 10th and lower. 3 wins out of 4. Interesting. I haven't looked at the 0-0s though, did I? Let's get back to this one. Only the 1-0 away from home for Luzerne, and highly unlikely we'll get a 0-0 for Stade Lausanne-Ouchy, as you can see there. So there's possibilities of laying that draw second half on seasonal form, with the expectation that Luzerne will be the first team to score. That would be my expectation there. Malmo gone very, very quiet, heading towards 100 on the dangerous attacks, but still, this is flirting with disaster, isn't it? It's playing in the cup, and I didn't cash out, did I, of that equaliser? So now I'm in limbo. Lecco and Palermo. I'm unlikely to be playing this, to be honest with you, but we'll keep an eye on Lecco, see if they improve. Got an odds on favourite goal. That's Copenhagen, making it 4-0. So let's get rid of a few of these. I think we had a look at these, didn't we? They're all from open play. Yeah. So 4:30. I'm going to say goodbye to you now, but I will be on Telegram for the rest. Probably going to have a late enough evening for me. I like what I'm seeing from Leverkusen. I like shorties like Feyenoord, Real Madrid, even Fenerbahce. But we've got that European element, which is the big negative in all of this. Marseille at home to Nantes should fancy themselves here today. Cup matches, league title matches, AEK Athens, PAOK a bit later on as well. So plenty to interest. got a suspended market, so I'll just see that one through.
Goal. Malmo FF.
And there's a Malmo goal, so that's a nice way to end the chat. So I'll just green that up because of that disgraceful Pogon performance. So that's just upped your profit. You're not going to be getting much out of this match, but you'll be getting a return.
This market has been suspended.
So that's good. So that's a nice end. Make sure this is all green. I could do that. 16. That would be. There we go. That's nice enough. For the sake of 19p.
Goal. Malmo FFIFK Norrköping is 2-1.
Yeah, we can get rid of that. So, and we can get rid of Club Brugge, having an excellent time pre-Europe. AK Athens, likely job done. They got the win they needed. And Malmo got the goal we needed. So on that, I'll say goodbye to you, and we'll see you over
Nervous Bendixburg is 0-1.
over on Telegram. And please remember, footballtradingprofits.club will be ending soon. And yet another concession before half-time for Fenerbahce. We were just looking at that, weren't we? So we've got a potential play there, but we will be holding fire, given Paul's reminder to us about pre-European club competition for Fenerbahce. So that's one to be on my roster.
Suspended.
I'll see you over on Telegram. Thanks very much for coming along. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've made a green screen.